I sacrificed some things over the last, let's say, year and a half, right? I sacrificed my private life. Sometimes I want to be like just any other woman, go out dancing, fall in love, get into a relationship, but that all needs resources, inner resources, which I don't have because I prioritize the current battle. I was detained on the 8th of September 2020 for 9 days, and it was a very anxious time for me, you know, because in prison you get isolated and they do everything to make you think that no one outside cares, which was the opposite, because a lot of people cared and did whatever they could. But the crackdown on the civil society has probably been the most severe ever in these 26 years of the rule of the dictator. The methods they use, I think they use the same as in the Soviet Union. And this parallel is even more frightening, because you think like, is this what you learned from from our history, how to keep destroying, how to keep torturing, how to keep arresting, threatening, etc., how to keep people in terror. They detain and arrest people, they threaten their families and manipulate their families, or they make them go in exile. They close organizations, they limit access to funding and to any help, and they make lives of a lot of activists and the civil society impossible. There is, of course, a lot of misinformation on like state media, right? So there are always those like blackmailing campaigns, those false information, trying to show the civil society as the enemy and the government as the carers and the givers and the saviors. And it's all the same rhetoric all the time. But I think some things that they are trying to do are just not possible. You can close an organization, but now with the internet and everything and connections, they still keep working. Yes, they can't do all that work inside Belarus, mostly. But some things they can still be doing, they still can be like helping people and educating people, keeping people aware, etc. PEN Belarus continues their work, loads of work, but PEN Belarus hasn't stopped its work for a single day, no matter what. And when they were like shut down and now they can't work legally in Belarus, they can still work from abroad. They carry out the monitoring of the cultural rights violation and the violation of human rights in the sphere of culture, and that can be and is still done, remotely. And this is a huge work and pretty unique and very meaningful. It was very hard for everyone psychologically. First of all, we would go to the protests a lot. I remember it was like my full-time job. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, you go and you protest, etc. But you also still had your work to do, right? And the news would be coming in, and there were activities to do. I don't live in Belarus now. I live in London because I study there. But just a month and a half ago, I was still in Minsk, and every day was like a challenge. Every day I tried to keep balance, not to go insane, to be aware of what is going on, to act, to give support where it's needed, to try right as well, but also pay attention to my own mental health, to my own physical health. Because I think for about a year, perhaps, I was neglecting it. The protest was my only one focus. And then I realized you can't go on like that forever. You just break down. I also felt a huge responsibility, you know, as a public figure, as a writer, as the person with an audience. I felt that I have responsibility to keep talking, to keep doing something. Because the well-being of my country means so much to me that I believe I cannot be happy when so many people are suffering. Not just people, a lot of people I know and huge amounts of people I don't know. I even sacrifice my writing as well because I've been given more time to work, to activism. I believe I've had to. And there were a lot of time, and there still is, when I put off writing because there are more important things to do. But honestly, mostly I don't regret anything. It just feels right. I feel in the right place, in the right time. Despite all the terror, this is horrible. Horrible is even too weak a word to describe it, but I still feel kind of privileged to live at that time in that place and to have the capacity to be able to contribute to the change, you know, to the positive change. And I look forward to the day when I'm able to sit down and relax and look back and appreciate and thank myself for not giving up. The things that shaped me or made me the person I am now, the first thing is my childhood, obviously, and my family situation. Because I lived in domestic violence, and that I think made me even more empathetic and made me want to protect and defend people because I myself needed that, right? And that also made me more sensitive, and this is what you need as a poet and as a writer, right? To be able to feel other people and express that, right? Also, the people around me, once I got into the sphere of activism in Belarus and all the people I kept meeting, and because I haven't always been an activist, I haven't been a feminist, I haven't been a human rights activist, I haven't been all that. But I've become that thanks to the people I met, you know, who knew more, who showed me, who guided me, who through their experience and example, you know, I saw what I could do, you know, what I could contribute. And obviously the protest has been a great change for me personally. I've matured so much. I feel like there is Hanna Komar before August 2020 and Hanna Komar after August 2020. And even I'd say Hanna Komar before detention and after detention. And it's a combination of my internal work but also of the people around me, because I learned really hugely from the examples of people who had this active empathy, you know, who didn't stay and look, but they acted, they did, they helped, they supported, they developed, they were fighting, you know, very bravely, etc. I was looking at them and I was getting inspired, and yeah, I grew up really, really hugely. To my fellow Belarusians, I would like to say that you are worthy a better life. You don't have to suffer. You've done a lot, and don't give up. There is a little more to do. Believe in yourself. Respect yourself and others. And don't give up. We'll be there. We'll get there. And живе Беларусь!